If I was you, I really good evening. Good evening, everyone. And welcome to this week's edition of Sisters of Legacy. We are going to go ahead and run our intro and we will be right back. Yo, I promise these intros, they be like surprising me. I don't know. Like every time I watch, I be like, oh, that's nice. So, ladies, welcome, welcome, welcome. So we are here this week with Katrina Taylor
Good evening.
and Vanessa Fields.
Hola.
Okay. So yeah, we are on every Thursday at 8 o'clock and we are striving to be consistent. So I am making sure we are staying on and trying to do all of the proper things. So last week we had Dr. Tiara Brown on, who is an OBGYN. We did definitely focus more on the GYN part because we are all well past the OB part. So last night, right? Last week she did give us a lot of information. Some of it was quite scary, to be honest, and some of it was shocking. Yeah, a lot of shock and awe. But the info definitely will prove to be useful. So Trina, tell me, I know, I only because Vanessa wasn't here. So tell me like some of the things that kind of stuck out for you last week.
Um, I mean, it's things that I kind of knew, but it's kind of solidified. The menopause timeline. Um, I thought I did think, however, that there was more of a concrete endpoint.
Right.
She'd be able to say, well, once you pass this point, everything should, teeter out within 1 to 2 to 3 years. And she was like, who knows? It could go on for 10 years. And I was just like, pause, hold on. I had hope that things might, but it was, I mean, I guess it was encouraging to know that, you just don't know. And
Don't
you
know.
gotta take it. Yeah, you gotta take it. Everybody's experience is different, and you may experience some things, you may not. And I'm holding out hope that there's a endpoint within the next year or two. I'm just leaning and depending on the Lord for that.
Okay.
Here we are.
So I would definitely agree with you. Like I did not realize that there was not an end in sight. I thought like you that after a certain point, like we was all done. We was finito. So that was very surprising. I will say though, it was really good though to be able to talk to a doctor and get some real answers. You know what I'm saying? Like, and at least know kind of some of what you may expect. And then too, for me anyway, to be able to pinpoint why some of the things on the inside are like going haywire. I feel like, a cuckoo clock, like, ding dong, like stuff is just, there's bells and whistles that I didn't realize worked or were there. And now everything is, dinging and donging. So it was kind of nice to be able to pinpoint like some things for myself personally. But it was also kind of scary because as much as that we don't really have a whole lot of control over your body, it's still kind of scary to kind of sit in that fact. You know, that there's some things that you just can't control. You can't start it, you can't stop it, you can't speed it up. You know, you just kind of gotta wade through it. So that was definitely the shocking part. Vanessa, I don't know if you were able to see any of it last week or any of that.
No, I didn't get to look at it. But I don't know. Based on how y'all talking about it, I don't know if that's good or bad. Because not having no end in sight for something is never good. I've never had it good not have an end in sight or bad. So yeah.
Yeah, it like I said, it was definitely illuminating
Mm,
to to
mm,
hear a lot of that stuff. Some of it was a little I'm not gonna say discouraging, but it was a little like, oh, come on, like, can we catch a break? You know, we already gotta, we start off rocky. Like, you start off and everything is fine, and then before you know it, your hormones got you in a chokehold, and then your body is doing a bunch of stuff that you wished it wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? And then that leads to a whole nother season of your life. And then you go through that season and you're like, okay, fine, this season is, so I can reproduce. And so this, and then when that's over, it's like, okay, now we in another season. And then you hoping you get to the over season and there is none. So that
yes,
is
4 seasons. I don't know this.
listen, that fourth season, it don't leave. It stay. That fourth season.
Well, well, she was saying
Right.
that again, not everybody has all of the symptoms that we spoke about, as far as hot flashes, as far as dryness and those type of things. Not everybody has all those things.
Mhm.
So, um, as bad as it sounds, your experience may just be a fraction of that, and it may not last that long. You may get over it. So I'm trying to have more of a positive outlook. The other thing I was thinking about too, though, is that as much as we're being educated as women on menopause and its ups and downs and all that stuff, you got to think about how men who deal with us have less of a clue than we do. So like, their thing is like, okay, menopause means they gonna act crazy, and that's all they know. So now we have to go back and educate them as well, so that they're not scared or whatever. Like, oh my God, am I gonna have a whole different woman living with me? Like,
Wow.
or they're not gonna desire me, or well, that's like, and that's why I think it's important for us to know and be educated. So now you can go back and say, listen, it's okay. At least
I
I know this much, and I'm gonna tell you because they be knowing less than us. So they probably have some old wise fable, something they heard somebody's grandmother say, and they just run with it. So it's important for us to just keep the education going.
And that's funny that you say that, because I remember growing up and like, you know, got you would hear, like be like, oh, she must be PMS, and like that was a thing that you always said, like like you would hear like boys or whoever say about you if you was in a foul mood, and like it wasn't until I got a lot older that I realized that that was a real thing, and it wasn't just a little boy or a teenager or a dude just being a jerk about saying you have your period, so you just acting crazy. Like, it's real. That is justifiable. Like, we just use the letters and the acronym and not even realizing that it was something that really truly existed. And I think in educating yourself and going to the doctor and keeping up with your health and stuff like that, as scary as it may be, when you know these things, you're more prepared.
Right.
So even if you don't go through it, at least you're prepared better to handle whatever it may look like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think the fact that we don't take better care of ourselves, or things change and we just kind of go through the motions, That's not a big deal. This is a little whatever. Yeah, no, maybe tomorrow. I'll check on it next week. Or, you just kind of keep going with your regular day to day stuff and pushing all this stuff to the back burner. And sometimes it'll be to a point where it's too late to not necessarily reverse what happened, but there's a lot of things that we can do if we're on top of our health to slow down a lot of processes. Our diet is very important, and not just to lose weight, but just so you can be healthy. You know what I'm saying? Just so you can maintain certain things. Like, they say you can eat more protein for certain things and not for other things. So, it's just a matter of, I think, as you get older, you just want to be more informed so that you can just make better decisions, like all the way around. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, y'all sound so adult like. Because I wasn't having either one of those thoughts in my head. I mean, but y'all are right. No, I mean, I totally agree. I'm just saying, I think that, maybe my thought process was like totally somewhere else, because I really wasn't thinking about the fact that my husband needs to be educated on whatever he may think is happening with me. I was more thinking that he needs to stay out my way, leave me alone.
I mean, that's
because I'm going through some stuff and I need you just to let me go through it. Like, I'm just saying, like, not in a mean way, but that's kind of how I felt like, listen, right now it's a lot of stuff happening with me. I just need a little space to let these things happen. I don't want to explain to you right now. No, I want to just sit in whatever's happening, you know what I'm saying, and just adjust to it myself before I'm trying to help you be okay with it. It's happening to me. It's all happening to me. Now I got to help you to be okay with it. Yeah, I wasn't having that thought. I mean, that is a good thought, though. But
been very good to process. But like you said, it's once you've figured out, once
right,
you process what kind of. But yeah, each one teach one. Is that where we're going with this?
I mean, it sounds good. Like, honestly, I had her on, well, one mainly because of all the issues that like I said, other stuff like that I felt like I was going through. And then, I do have a doctor. I do see my doctor regularly, but I have to be honest, because I have had a partial hysterectomy or whatever, like, there's parts of, certain doctors that I don't see like that, because, in my mind, there's certain things not happening anymore. So like,
we don't need them.
so like, I just felt like, right, do I really need to see, like a GYN often? Because they were like, at this point, you can see one like every 5 years or something, unless you feel like there's something broken or something. Like, that's kind of how they made it seem, because I already had a partial. Like, there's no reason to see one every year. There's no reason to have, or whatever, because.
But what about this, like other things like mammograms and such?
You don't see a gynecologist for a mammogram. I
guess for me, that's my gynecologist does that whole all the women part stuff. So I mean, like all the things.
Yeah, like here, no, like your doctor's schedule, you go to the hospital and yeah, they do it. It's not like, now it's almost like doctors have farmed, they done farmed so much of their stuff out. You know what I'm saying? Like, before, you go to one doctor and they kind of could do it all. Now it's like, oh no, go over there and see that one. Oh, run by the car wash. Oh, go to the, like, I'm just saying, it's like, go left over here and go down the street and around the corner for this. And so you wind up, going so many different places. So like, yeah, like I got, the mammogram and all of that stuff. Where they smash it. Like, I've done all that, but like
I just have to say, and I will always say this, It's 2023. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be better technology than putting it in and smashing it. Like, there's got to be a better technology. Like, somebody come up with something, because that's just, it seems so archaic. It seems like it's just not like.
Because you got X-rays that could see through bones, but you don't have nothing to see through flesh. I'm confused. It's just tissue.
And then, but why you got to do it like? And then they just handle it any old kind of way and smash it and move it. Like, there's got to be a better way. Like, put some funding into that. It's a lot.
So, even though we are making light of these conversations, but the reality is, it's important to know what's going on with your body, and not just, the outside, but the inside. Because, you hear, like, growing up, I heard people talk about, oh, I'm flashing, I'm having hot flashes. Growing up, what that mean? It ain't even hot here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you hear certain things, and then you get older, and you're like, oh, I'm having a hot flash. And sometimes you don't even really understand what that means. You just, all of a sudden it's hot. I'm having a hot flash. And sometimes you don't tie things together. So it's very important to kind of know what's going on, on the outside, but the inside as well, the inner workings of your body, and having a good doctor. I have to say, talking to Tiara was like really, really great. Because sometimes doctors, everybody's in a rush. I got questions. Can we sit down? Can you answer my questions? But again, when everything is so farmed out, it's like, oh, I can't answer that. You got to go over there and ask that doctor. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is not centralized like it used to be. It's so, split off or whatever. But, the older you get, you definitely have to, be adamant about asking questions. And if you can't get them answered, ask somebody else. Change your doctor, move around. And then, like, my mom is famous for, it's got some remedy, something, I'm take some Vicks, like, on your tongue. And I'm like, you're not supposed to do that. I've been doing that for 30 years. No, that stuff is just, like, and I know if she see this, she gonna kill me. But, like, some of her old remedies, she's like, do this and do that. And sometimes we have to get away from them things. Yes, it may have worked for your grandmother, bless Big Mama soul, but in 2023, like, you have to kind of go to the doctor. Let's go to the doctor. Let's get them uncomfortable checkups. Let them smash it. It's uncomfortable. The room is cold. Their hands is cold. It hurt. And if you're short like me, you're trying to heist yourself up in the machine because I'm way lower than the height should be. It's a lot of moving parts, but it's important for the quality of our lives and the longevity of our lives to stay on top of these things. Vanessa, you want to say something?
Nope. But I will say, like, for years before, I won't say that I crashed into this doctor's office, but, like, I had been having hot flashes long before I realized that that's what they were.
Right.
And that's having, and it was like, so, back then I was just a dialysis tech, and we have to wear these gowns when we working. So, we moving, we putting the patients on, we checking blood pressures, we cleaning machines. So I just always felt like I got hot when I was doing certain activities. I never equated it to an actual change in my body. And one day I wound up going to urgent care, and my blood pressure wouldn't come down. And she was like, I'm going to have to give you some Clonidine because we can't let you leave with this high blood pressure. And I was like, and then this happened. And before I knew it, like, I was crying talking to this. And she was like, oh, yeah, you've been premenopausal for some years, and then she went down the checklist and started asking me all these questions. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm just like, you know what? Now that you say, that, now that I've laughed and cried and got angry, sitting here on this table with you, makes perfect sense now. Right. Thank you very much. I had no idea that I probably been going through this for probably about 3-4 years or even more at that time. So yes, it's very important to make sure that we because like I said, for me, I just thought, just something that was happening while I was at work. I never really paid any real attention to it.
Yeah. And oftentimes we don't, especially women, we get into that. Okay, yeah, whatever. I got things to do. The kids is calling, I got to get over here. And, especially when you have kids, it's like, well, I'll take care of this later. Let me get these kids to the doctor. Let me, let me take care of this. Or, I just need some sleep. Or, like we tell ourselves whatever we have to in that moment to kind of get through that moment. And a lot of times we just push things to the side. Like I do want to say, she did recommend the Bonafide site, and the ladies already know, like that night when I said I was going to order, I absolutely did. Like I literally clicked off this show and went straight to the site, and I ordered the pills that are supposed to help with the mood swings and the sensitivities, because I have become incredibly sensitive in my older age, which is very horrifying for me because it's totally different, from my normal way of life, let's just say. So yeah, I did go on the site and I ordered the pills. I actually looked up, some of the other things on the site. They had loads of pills, naturally, but like for several different things. I did just get the one. I did just get the one pill because I can't take 15 different pills, because sometimes, it feel like you're having a lot of different things happening. But I went with, the thing that's most pressing for me and the thing that has been most common. Because unlike some people, like I get a little bit hot, but like, I don't have like the sweats and the, those types of things. So that wasn't an issue for me. But it did have a lot of natural herbal kind of stuff. So, if you don't want to go to a doctor because you think they're going to give you pills, you could always ask your doctor for herbal alternatives, for stuff that you can get over the counter or, at a herbal store, as opposed to taking like medication. The important thing is to at least try to get a diagnosis, try to get, a description where you can match what you're feeling with what, what they're saying. I feel like that's a good starting point. Ladies.
Also, like I think like what Vanessa was saying, like you have to be proactive about our general health care, because I know that my doctor recently gave me a prescription for a colonoscopy, and I'm scared to go have it. And so this conversation reminded me, like, you got to do it, but I'm scared because I feel like I don't know. It just seemed like it's going to be scary and maybe painful. I don't know.
Painful. It's not scary.
You said what?
That is what?
Not painful, and it's not scary. I've had one done. Yeah. You do have to drink that stuff before.
Yeah. This big old bottle.
Yes, that go lightly. It's gonna make you go a whole lot, not lightly. But that's just so that your colon can be empty, so that when they use their little thing to look around in there.
See, that sounds scary to me.
I didn't help. I didn't help.
I mean,
Well, I've had one done, but that's because my dad had this thing called diverticulitis, so we didn't eat seeds and stuff, and we never, like really knew why or whatever. But I found out like the seeds begin or whatever, and they cause discomfort and pain and blah blah blah, yada yada yada. But I did have one done, and like I said, like it wasn't. I don't know. I didn't know what to expect going in this procedure, but like I said, you drink the gold lightly. They give you I don't know, was it laughing gas or something to make you sleep. I remember counting to maybe 2. I don't know. Then they was waking me up. Hey, Miss Mills, how you doing? I was like, wait, 3, 4, huh? What? It's over. We done. You got to ride because you can't drive. I was like, man, I could barely. I can't drive, but it was I don't know. A lot of people are very apprehensive, I guess, because they want to, but it's not. There's no discomfort really at all, because like I said, they put you to sleep before they do anything, and the scope is not huge. It's not like this giant, it's not the size of the arm or 4 fingers, anything like that. I actually, like, seriously, like all I actually watched. They had it on TV. I didn't watch the broadcast live, but I did watch a rebroadcast of this person having one done, like live doing it. Like they were filming this person getting done. They was awake. I was like, oh yeah, you good. That is
wow.
Amazing. I mean, just talking and all, but I mean, Trina, you gonna be okay. It's alright. It's not a big deal.
Well, yeah, I haven't had one. Yeah, there was a doctor that told me I needed one, and then they prescribed the big jug of stuff. Told me I was gonna have to drink it. He was gonna schedule it, but then he changed his mind. I think it was the Lord working on my behalf, because I was not looking forward to it. One, it just feels. I have to be honest. It feels very like you're invading my space.
Yeah,
Like,
it's intrusive. Like,
yeah, I mean, but then if you think about it, when you're pregnant,
yeah,
yes, a colonoscopy.
You're not gonna know.
Not gonna know.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I can be asleep all I want to. I know. When I wake up, I know. Right, I know that's what you did. Like, I know. I mean, like I said, I mean, honestly, if a doctor say that I have, that I need to get one, I probably will, but it would definitely be under duress. Like, it's just, I don't know. But I mean, like I said, when you're pregnant, they go everywhere. It's almost like a refrigerator. They just in and out all the time. So, right. She said no more invasive than having kids. You're right. Absolutely. I agree.
That's true. I mean, it's just preventative is because of my age. They didn't see anything. It's age related. I'm supposed to have one. They say go get it. I'm gonna do it. But not looking forward to that, like at all. Not. So, but I'm gonna do it.
And I'm realizing this getting older thing is definitely not quite what I had in mind. I was trying, like I said last week, I was trying to age gracefully, and I feel like I'm aging grumpily because everything that is happening is just making me grumpy. Because sometimes, like, you want to do what? No, doctor, we're not. That's not. That's not what I had on my card for this week. We can't do that. So, the important thing though is to go to the doctor. Find a doctor you can talk to. You can ask questions. Do not be Googling and doing WebMD. That's not good enough. you have to go to the doctor. You have to have these tests. Like I said, if you want to, increase the longevity of your life, if you want to live long, you don't want it to be a surprise, to sneak up on you. And, you find out it's something that you could have prevented. So not the little old lady who arguing with the doctors. Absolutely. I'm absolutely the little person arguing with the doctors all the time and don't even it's just a fact of life. I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it grumpily. But we did want to come on to just reiterate some things from last week and just remind you guys the importance of everybody talk about self-care, and now self-care is just, sitting down somewhere, getting a massage, or, all of that. Massages are great, but you need to find out what's going on the inside parts. Pedicures and manicures and all that stuff is great, and get your hair done and extra sleep and, all that stuff is great. But let's make sure we're taking care of our insides as much as our outsides. Especially because we are women. So because we have a greater responsibility, it's more things, that we have to care for. Like we literally carry life inside of us in real form, big, huge life. So, you know, um, right, like Shanetta said, our bodies are temples, right? So we have to make sure that we're caring for them. Encourage your friends, go get that checkup, go to the doctor with somebody. Sometimes it's scary to go to the doctor. Sometimes if your family history is tragic, it can be scary to go to the doctor. Go call a friend. You might be surprised. And I know you think, I don't want to ask somebody to go to the doctor with me, but you might be surprised. People may surprise you. Everybody won't. Now you know the friends you have. Let's be honest. We know the people that we have in our circles, and you know the person that would go with you as opposed to the person that wouldn't. So, don't be afraid to ask for support. Doesn't make
Ask
you any.
hard.
Hmm?
I said, and ask the hard questions. Like anything that I think about between now and when I have to go to the doctor, I like write them down and make sure that these are things that I address with the doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like I think a lot of times we go and whatever it is, up, yeah, no, 5-10 minutes, I'm good with that. Okay, we out of here. You know what I'm saying? You need to make sure that you create dialogue and that you're asked, like you wondering about stuff, and like you said, I didn't even know that like regular people could go on WebMD and just like put their input. Somebody told me that the other day, like, yeah, that's not like really a true reputable source because anybody can go in there and put stuff on there. But that's beside the point. So, you have questions about things and you want to know something, like you need to go to a professional, somebody who went to school and is in the business of answering the type of questions that you have, and not, spending a whole lot of time just wondering and not, getting to the root of it. Because sometimes I think even
Yeah.
knowing something could be wrong is just as scary.
I bet you Miss Thing go on WebMD. Since she in the comments, I can bet you she done been on WebMD Googling something. This is the same person that Google learning how to swim. So I know she done been on WebMD. And that's right, I'm talking about you. She said, regular people been telling me I'm about to die. See, that's what I'm talking. Look, hey Mike, he said you know it,
Because
right?
it's my dietitian at work, and I was talking to her, and she was like, and guess where they got the information from? I was like, where? She was like, WebMD. I was like, oh. She was like, yeah, because regular people could just go in there and just. I said, oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
note to self. If I
Yeah,
do my own Google search, I think I'm gonna have to find me some case studies.
my doctor said,
apparently
yeah,
Wikipedia.
yeah. My doctor said the same thing. He said, don't go on the internet. Come talk to me. Don't go on the internet telling me I read this, that, and the third. He was like, I don't even want to hear it. That's what he told me. He's like, "Don't, Miss Taylor, don't." I was like, because I had looked up. He was like, "Don't, just don't."
Yeah,
Now, what we
let's
look at
definitely.
is our medications. If you have to take something, we should be reading that. We should be reading all that's on the
Right.
side of the label, what's on the bottle. That's the stuff we're supposed to be researching, not side effects and trying to figure out what could possibly be wrong with us. When they give you medication to take, I want y'all to look at that. I want you to read all of that stuff. You know how you see the commercials and you hear the people talk real fast and you don't know what they said, all the things that can happen. Yeah, you want to read something, you want to have something, you want to, look up. There you go. That's what you can spend some time on.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Let's not self-diagnose, but she's right. You can definitely look up those medications and figure out, because I surely do. When you try to give me something, I gotta see what it say. Cause I'm like you, I see, excuse me, those commercials where your eye bulging, if your throat closed up, call a doctor. If my throat is closing up,
I can't call nobody because I'm about to
right,
kill
it's
myself.
already too late. It's
I
already
got
too late. Yeah, so sometimes you definitely have to weigh your options. Is it really worth it? So yeah, but like I said, let's get on top of our health. Let's stay on top of our health. I will keep you guys posted as far as taking these pills, because I did start. I've only been taking them for like two days now. Let's just say, and then I Google a cure for the side. Okay, we're not. Right. It's a rabbit hole. Absolutely.
It
It's
is.
okay. We love you just the way you are, Shanetta. But we are gonna have Dr. Tiara back on in a few weeks, so that she can probably give us, a little bit more information. I'm sure I'll have some more questions by then. And like I said, I will keep you guys posted on how the pills, if they're helping dry up my tears. I mean, honestly, I haven't. Well, I don't know. You might have to ask my husband this question, but I don't think I've had too many anger moments. I don't think I've been too irritable, but I've definitely been extra sensitive. But we'll see how the pills work, or at least how they work for me, because we are all different, and what worked for me might not work for some. But I did order me some, and I am taking them because I needed to stop. Yeah, that's the best I got. So, like, guys, thank you for joining us again. We are on every Thursday. We did just want to come on really quick today and just talk a little bit about it and kind of how we were feeling, because we definitely had a whole lot of feelings after the last show. um, but it is important. We make light of it because it's a part of living longer. The reality is, if I want to age, I have to take all that comes with aging. So you know, I guess it's a trade off. You got to take one thing to get the other. So let's live long together, as long as you want to live. If you find with kicking the bucket, then bless your heart. I don't know what to tell you, but to have a long quality life, you want to take care of these things. You don't want to be like the old person that got 17 bottles of pills
Right.
on your nightstand or on your dresser that you got to take every day. So some of these things, like Vanessa said, could be preventive. If you get in front of it, then you don't have to try to chase it down and kill it. You can kind of stop it before things get bad. So we will be back next Thursday. And like I said, we will have Dr. Tiara back on soon enough to give us some more information. And then we'll see about getting maybe some other kind of doctors to come on and, share some information with you guys. So thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. If you're watching the replay, I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. I appreciate your time. Ladies, thank you for your time. Shanetta, enjoy yourself. I know you're traveling for, I guess, sort of kind of business, but find a way to have some fun. I'm sure you will. And we will see you guys. Oh, what did I do? Next week, Lord willing. So until then, be safe.
Thank you for watching.